Hi, I'm Rose, and this is the Sovereign Soul podcast. I support awakening souls live beyond their ego and limitations so that they may know true freedom. So, as I said in the last episode, I was going to talk about existential dread in this one. I certainly know what it is experientially. I hadn't heard of the term. I have most certainly heard of existential crisis, um, but I think that those are two different things in my own understanding of them. And I had to quickly go and Google so I could actually get a good a good overview. I laugh because Google can be like the alpha and omega, but it's terrible because we believe that it really does have all the answers. Sorry, side note, just funny. Anyway, so it explained what it is. And I can honestly say that I have been living this so sadly deeply from about 2020 and maybe even 2019, but I would say it really hit me hard in 2020. I was definitely somebody as a child who was born into this world thinking there should be peace and happiness. Like, I just wanted that for everybody, and I still really do. It's why I put this content out there and why I do the work I do. But that's obviously not the picture. And I had to have a full-blown spiritual awakening to understand what true oneness means, to understand myself and to understand the deep connection that we all have to one another. We are one organism. That's how I see it. And if one aspect of that organism is ill or suffering, or however you want to call that illness, then the whole organism is suffering. And it doesn't matter who, what, how. That is just the way we actually roll. And in a sense, that is utterly beautiful. But in another sense, it is utterly defeating when you are living on a planet where there are 8 billion other beings. It is governed by a system that doesn't give much of a fuck about the organism. It only gives a fuck about itself. That's me just putting it in a nutshell. And then on top of that, the earth is not being respected and loved. You know, the thing we actually live on, it's been destroyed by the same ones that don't give a fuck about the organism. Because I would have to say that the plants and the animals and the air and the water and every single thing on this planet is part of that oneness. It's part of the organism. So the organism is pretty large. It's not just us on our own with the connection to all the humans. It's us connected to every single little aspect of this planet. And when you realize that and what a mess it is, that hurts like hell. It's really hard to get your head around when you're just one tiny little, not even a grain of sand in that whole big picture. And you think, I don't have anything that I can do to help this. And then your awakening takes you to something so much bigger than just what's going on the earth right now in a physical way. And you go and you see the whole spiritual realm around the earth, and you realize, oh my God, the earth is only mirroring the mess that's going on out there. And you go, wow, this is so much bigger than I can even try to get my head around. And knowing this and understanding this is going to make me look like I'm completely off my tits if I had to start telling this to other people. So how the fuck do you let the shit land in you and not let it get to you? Because it's the truth. And the truth sets you free. And it didn't feel like that for me for a good 4 years, because I was having existential dread. I knew inside of me there was definitely more that I wanted to be doing, more that I needed to be doing, but I didn't know how. Like, how do I offer a solution in this? How do I come to a conclusion that can help other people to free themselves? So I might see all of this, and seeing it and knowing it is freedom. Okay, it's absolute freedom. The truth sets you free, and the truth is not always pretty, and I've spoken about that in other episodes, but the truth is the truth, and you can't hide from it if you want to actually have true freedom. And spiritual freedom is to me the ultimate goal. You want to have that absolute conscious choice over your little chip from the hole and how you experience that existence. You don't want it hijacked, you don't want it manipulated, and you don't want it in contracts with darkness so that you can't escape something that is very low vibe. You want to get out of that vibe. But like I explained very deeply a few minutes ago, we are one organism. So that's great. Yes, Rosemary, and she can say, well, I can see that we need to escape this. I can see I can help my children. I can speak to them about it. I've only spoken to 2 friends deeply about this. Otherwise, it's been my kids, bless them, because I can then offer them the truth and the clarity and the ability to free themselves if they so choose to. But still, I am connected to this entire organism. I'm not responsible for it. In a sense, I guess I am. I've come here and I've fed it, and I've, given my own low vibes in my life too. But there hasn't felt like a solution. And this in turn has created an existential dread inside of me. And it's been to my detriment, of course, because it's quite a heavy thing to hold. And in a sense, it's the same thing as holding on to a lack of forgiveness. You just get, eaten up inside because you're not letting go of something. And I would say that this has had that same kind of experience on me, because more than anything, it has created this deep sense of hopelessness and helplessness, and made me feel incredibly, incredibly small and incapable of having a bigger impact. So this is my understanding as to why an existential dread can even occur in the first place, because there is that disconnection to a deeper purpose. And purpose is an interesting thing because I don't think that it's always this bigger mission, a soul mission. I think that it is a very interesting thing. And I'll talk about purpose in another episode because I think it really deserves its own episode. But what have I been able to do to get myself out of an existential dread situation? And for me, it's been connecting with a solution, like a clear-cut solution. I see it so clearly. I have the capacity to leave a blueprint for other beings who choose to have it to reclaim their own sovereignty. And that is massive. I can leave a blueprint for people, and I can also possibly help people while I'm here to have a blueprint they can connect with truth if they so choose to and really want their sovereignty. And these topics are not easy to talk about. I'm like a really normal, grounded mommy. I am a soul rebel, but I'm like a normal human being in so many ways. So to come out here and this insane vulnerability to go, okay, well, these have been the deepest thoughts that I've been having since the last 10 years in an insanely deep way. That's for me, that's like, wow, that's huge. And I think more than anything, it's because I don't want people to think that anything about their own being is wrong. because I'm not actually a judgmental person at all. And I know that people have to choose their own journeys, but the stuff I'm talking about is so fucking deep that it sounds like I'm ripping people's belief systems apart. And that, for me, I haven't wanted to do. It's almost like I prefer to tiptoe around people's egos so that they can slowly understand things. Where this is ripping the fucking bandage off and scooping out the pus whether you want to or not. And so that for me has been the vulnerability of having these conversations. So the point of this whole episode, it was to not only explain why people can have existential dread and why it is understandable, but also to offer a solution. And this whole episode was inspired by Sarah, the alchemist. I don't know if you know her. I think it's Sarah Eckeldy or something. She's doing fucking awesome work in the world, in spreading truth to people. So bless her. And this is actually what sparked the existential dread whole topic in me, because she didn't actually, the video was very short and it stopped before she actually told us, but she said like how she deals with it. And I think offering a solution is a really important and powerful thing. So the solution I'm offering is what I know to be true inside of me. We are all responsible for ourselves. And when we take that true responsibility and autonomy over our life on all the levels of our being, we then give other people almost the permission and the strength to do the same. That cliche of you're the light in the darkness, you are sending out the ripple, you are, a drop, which is then going to get more drops and become a wave, all those cliches, that is what you become when you take that personal responsibility for yourself. When you decide that you're going to see the truth, you're going to live from the truth, and you are going to start living as a sovereign being. That is the medicine to heal the planet, because as that ripple goes out, more and more and more and more people will start seeing that leadership that is coming from you. And that leadership is the most powerful thing. Human beings are innocent. They need to be led and guided. And when they see that guidance happening, that is what they're going to want to be and fit in with. My kids are a perfect example of that. They have been taught and they've been guided, and then now they so choose to become what they want to be. But with all that guidance in a totally different environment, leadership is through example. And so we become that example, and slowly that ripple will start rippling out. And this is why it's good that people can start banding in smaller communities, because then these kind of leaders on communities can teach more people, and so it can go out. We can't change the globe and the leadership and the way it's working by fighting it or creating a war on it. The biggest rebellion that you can make is to change yourself and heal yourself, and therefore be that light for others to heal as well. That is the solution. That makes me so happy and so excited, because I felt powerless before that. I felt absolutely hopeless. I thought, like, why have I gone through the life I've gone through only to feel like I can't do anything about all of this, yet I've wanted to do something about it or have this be changed from the time I was a little girl. So then being able to take this information with you and take that responsibility for yourself, move yourself into your heart, crack it open, and claim your soul back. And I'm actually wondering if I should do a soul calling healing. Perhaps I can do it like on a live somewhere, because I've got them. I mean, I've been an energy healer for a decade, and I have created so many different healings, and calling your soul back and reclaiming your sovereignty is one of those workshops that I've actually created and done. So I want to do that for anybody who is interested. And you can, again, just reach out to me if you want to really, if you want to heal and you want to be a part of healing this planet. Take responsibility for yourself to heal yourself and let that ripple out. If you've got kids, that will make a difference. If you know, your friends, your family, just somebody like who serves you in the shop, everybody, your light can shine on every single being that you touch. You can be that leader of consciousness and true consciousness. Okay, so I'm not sure if and how many people may even listen to this. But if you are listening, I say thank you and I say bless you. And I hope that this information is useful. And anytime you want to reach out to me, I love connection. So I'm always happy if you send me a WhatsApp or if you send me an email or even say hi in the comments. I am always available to say hi back. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.